And we're live. We're live.
Hello, Tracy Kitching. Happy Friday to you.
Hello, Rena. And I'm so excited about being able to chat with you this week and, chat with our community. So if anyone has any questions, please remember, pop them on in the comments. And if we don't get to them on our live, because sometimes they pop up a bit late, we will certainly answer them afterwards. So please remember to do that. That's something I really wanted to stress today.
Absolutely, Tracy, and it's great having these sessions every fortnight. There's so much
Oh,
information that we're sharing, and I know that next week you're very busy because you're off to the EA Leadership Summit in Melbourne.
yes.
And I love the post that you did the other day, Tracy, and you were talking all about email overload for EAs.
Yeah, and you know what? This is one of the big things when it comes to executive assistants, or even if you're just an executive or someone who's even running their own business. You get hundreds of emails in a day, and probably about 80% of them don't actually need your attention, and sometimes you're just CC'd in on stuff. Which used to happen to me a lot when I was an EA. And even when I was teaching way back when, you would get a pile of things that you were CC'd in, and people were just doing it because they thought you might like to know. But it comes down to that quadrant of urgent. What is it? Urgent. Oh, I've forgotten what the quadrant is now.
Important, urgent,
Important, that's it. And then the other two down the bottom. And, you've got to decide whether something's really urgent that needs your attention right there and then, or if it's important, it still needs to be dealt with, but maybe not right at that moment. And then you've got the other two, which really don't really matter, and you will get to them. And I had an EA reach out to me, and she was just so overwhelmed with the amount of emails coming through. And hi, William. I see you're popping on there. So many emails coming through, and she was almost attached and addicted to her phone, having all the notifications come through. And that was really, I could see the burnout starting to happen with her. And we were just having a conversation, and I said, hey, let's sort this out. Are you willing to work with me? And yeah, that's sort of how we came about it, the conversation. And so we sat there, we looked at all the different types of emails that came through for her. Obviously, emails from her executive, they were important. They weren't necessarily urgent, but they had to be dealt with that day. And then she had ones which she was part of a project, and they were urgent, sort of, because the project had a deadline and things had to be addressed there and then. And then there were other ones, like so much spam coming through, and newsletters and things that, you sign up for, and, thinking that'll be fun, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
And so we just categorized them all, created categories in her inbox, and then we went to AI. So we went to Make, and she was on a Google system, so that was awesome. Really easy to connect with Make, and so is Microsoft, but Google's a lot of fun. And we went through, and as you saw from that post a couple of days ago, I was able to create, I replicated it for my own inbox to show you, because obviously privacy reasons means I can't show you her inbox. So I organized it for myself, but with her, like, she had the same sort of setup. So the emails would come in, it would get read by Claude, or you could have it read by ChatGPT, but due to privacy reasons, we prefer Claude. So had it read by Claude, and then from that, it then sorted into all the different categories. And if it was one that was important, that needed to have an answer to it, then it created a draft. It got put into a certain category and then created a draft for her, and it sat in her drafts. So she knew that maybe every hour she'd spend 5 minutes just running through, checking what had come through. And if it was in her draft, she knew it was important. She'd run her eye over the draft. She might have to change one or two words. If, Claude had got it a little bit, not wrong, but it just wasn't flowing the way that she would like it, she just changed a couple of words and then it would all get sent out. So that saved her so much time. It saved her brain space, which is so important, especially when you're on that verge of burnout because you've got so much going on. And it just allowed her to focus on the things that really needed to be focused on, and not that worry of, oh my God, am I missing an email? That sort of thing. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of back and forth, just making sure that we were on the right track, because obviously we need to train it the way that she responds to emails. And it was just, heaps of fun doing it. And it was great to then replicate it for myself, because I get, it's like a mechanic. Yeah. You deal with everyone else's cars, but yours is still up on the hoist, needing that oil change and things like that. So for me, I finally sat down and went, you know what, I need to do this for myself too, because I get a lot of emails in a day. Cool. And the good thing with mine is that I have a lot of AI news coming through. Yeah. So I was able to categorize that. And now once it's in there, I have Claude read it and then give me a summary and put it into my Google folder. So then I can get to it and create, just have a 5-10 minutes before I go to bed, and I just read through what it summarized for me and see what's important for me.
It must be saving you so much time.
Oh, it's incredible. Like, you imagine how much news is actually coming through. Like, I'm getting at least 7 to 10 emails a day on all the latest stuff that's coming through. And so for me, it just gives a quick summary of what those emails are about in the AI news world. And then if it's something that I go, yes, I need to know more about that, at least then I know and I can go digging. So it used to take me a good 30 to 40 minutes to read through all my emails and try and decipher myself as to what was actually important for me to then go and dive into. Now it just gives me that summary, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So you're helping her manage stress, helping her become far more efficient. And
absolutely.
You touched on Claude there, Tracy. There's some updates I understand happening that have happened.
Today, the 23rd of May, Claude released 2 new models, and one of the models replaces Sonnet 3.7, and they've called it Sonnet 4. So it's along those lines, but apparently it balances more the performance and efficiency for internal and external cases. So if you have it hooked up to your, it's getting a bit technical, but to your API, if you're running automations and agentics, it can hook up to all those models now. And absolutely brilliant. And the other one that it was released was Claude Opus 4. And Claude Opus 4 it excels at coding. Now, I don't do coding. That's not my area. But from what I've read and what I've been told, it really does excel in coding. So if you're a coder out there, you'll be jumping up and down and going, yay, with it all. And I'm excited. I only had that information come through this morning because we are here, May 23rd today. So it came through this morning and I read through it. I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because I'll now have to go into my automations and into my agentics and change the models over if it hasn't automatically. So because Claude Sonnet 3.7, I don't believe is available any longer. I do believe 3.5 is available still, but 3.7 is not. They have fully replaced it with Sonnet 4. So that will be interesting to see how that all pans out, but it's supposed to be really great in agentic scenarios, and because it has more power in holding information and really digesting it and following instructions. So agentic wise and automation wise, that is very powerful. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out, and I'm really excited about that.
That is fantastic news. Absolutely brilliant news. Now, Tracy, your summit next week. Tell us a little bit more. There's a great lineup of speakers.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, I can't believe the caliber of speakers. I'm really excited about hearing Danielle Colley. She's a coach and mentor. So she she's got a great book called The Chocolate Bar Life, and it's based on the Mars bar and how the perfect ingredients in a Mars bar makes it what it is. And she talks about balance and your life being like a Mars bar, because balance looks different for everyone, and balance has a specific ingredient and ratio of how it all is. I'm also really looking forward to listening to Jacqueline Delarue. She is one of the leading executive assistant trainers in Australia and the world, and she works for the EA Institute. I have worked with Jacqueline before, and she is fabulous and really knows her stuff in creating executive assistants to be the best assistant for their executives as possible. She's actually giving a whole full day workshop the day on the Tuesday, the 27th, and then the summit actually starts on the 28th and 29th, and then there's a post workshop too, so on the Friday. But I'm speaking on the Wednesday in the afternoon, and I'm super excited because I will be explaining how AI can really help EAs become more efficient. And today, we talked about emails, and emails is one of those moments. And I think with that, it's supremely important to let them know of the possibilities. AI is still making its way into businesses and into the executive assistants' lives. And sorry to say, business owners and CEOs and boards, but your EAs are pretty much already using AI. And if you don't have a policy, you could get yourself into trouble, because they are using it. And as a company, as a business, you need to make sure those policies and procedures and data protection and all those sorts of things need to be in place, and to educate, to train your staff so they can be better strategic partners for you.
Absolutely.
So
now,
that's
talking about
what
training,
I'll be talking about.
That's fantastic. I know we did a training session on Gamma once here. So tell us, did you use Gamma to produce this presentation? Yay!
I have also used Gamma to create my new course, which I will be launching at the EAPA Summit. So all the EAs, watch out, because I will be putting it everywhere to get you on.
What will they get out of the course?
Well, actually, the course is centered around LinkedIn and positioning yourself, how to position yourself as a strategic leader in the executive assistant world. So we talk about content creation, we talk about your profile, we talk about data analysis and how to use
Yep.
that to record how you're going and where you need to tweak. And
Yep.
it's a 6-week course. There's a little bit of homework. Come on, I'm a teacher, so homework is just going to happen. But it's homework that's super practical and will keep you moving forward each week. And yeah, I'm very excited about it because it is aimed at executive assistants, but it doesn't mean others can't get involved as well, because it's a practical guide for everyone. So, you know, instead of executive assistant, you know, chuck in coach, chuck in consultant, chuck in business owner, chuck in executive, you know. I do know quite a number of executive assistants who also run their executives or the business's LinkedIn profile or Facebook profile or anything like that. So, you know, it's one of those things that I see on a constant daily basis as I'm connecting with executive assistants here on LinkedIn, is that they either are just reposting their company's stuff without any insight, without any thoughts, or they're not posting at all. They just have this resume sitting there and no idea as to where to start, is my understanding. So that's what I want to do, is really help executive assistants position themselves as thought leaders within the executive assistant world, because honestly, they are the heartbeat. And I've said this time and time again, they are the heartbeat of all businesses. So you can't run a business effectively without a great executive assistant. So yeah, so I'm super excited about that. That will actually be starting in the mid of June, but I'm launching it next week.
That's very exciting, Tracy. And I'm sure there'll be opportunities for people that might not be attending to also have the opportunity to join the course. So what we might do is put the link, you know, after you've launched it in the comments.
Definitely.
And it would be a global opportunity for people.
Yes, absolutely. This isn't just for Australia. This is for anyone in the world that's an executive assistant. Obviously, I only speak English, so you'll need to speak English to understand it. But what I'm thinking, it is just a thought, that with all the different AIs around at the moment, I could turn it into another language. So that's something that will be down the track. But at the moment, it will be for anyone that can speak English and read English. It will be available for them. So I will do a post about it. I will use it as a feature on my LinkedIn profile. So watch out for that. That will be launched next week, and cannot wait. And someone has just clapped me, so yay. I'm just watching here on LinkedIn. It's just really interesting to have a lot of people live watching us. So thank you so much. I wanted to say thank you for watching us live.
Thank you. Are there any questions that we need to take, Tracy?
I don't think so.
Any questions?
Just hi and email overload and all the rest of it, and that is so true. There's no questions as of today, but if you do have questions, you know, if you've come late to this or you want to you're watching it at a later stage, please drop the questions below, because we love answering them. And also feel free to DM Rena or myself if you have a question that you don't want on the post. And we're more than happy to spend the time with you and answer your questions.
Fantastic, everyone. So we've got a great leadership summit happening in Melbourne next week with Tracy Kitching as one of the key speakers. So if you can get along to that, please do. If not, Tracy's got a training program and she'll share the link for that. But we so appreciate you joining us, being part of this wonderful AI community. And we do look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time Wishing you all a fabulous weekend. And thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing insights once again. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Rena. Bye, everyone.